All right, here we go. We are YouTube live. Sure. We have no requests today, so let's do it. Let's get started. We'll start with your pads.
I do 5-pound weight loss.
Oh, just 5-pound weight loss by the end of class. Okay, that's a good request.
That's a request,
That's a
right?
good one. I'll go for that.
That's the turkey weight, right? That's just turkey. All right, let's put your orange bolster at the top of your mat. We won't use it right off the bat, but I want you to have it there so you can grab it. And then your pads next to the mat, because we're going to do some groin stretching. You're at home and you've got carpet, you don't have to mess with the pads. All right, put your bolster a little further forward so it's not going to be in your way. Just a little. Yeah, good. Okay. All right, and then let's start out. Come down to knees. Knees about as wide as the mat, and elbows on the mat. Good. Keeping your knees as wide as the mat, maybe a touch wider. Put the tops of the feet on the mat, and try to really flatten the tops of ankles to the mat. Think of rolling heels just a touch out to put more of the ankle toward the mat. Then bring your body forward, elbows a little wider. Drop your chest down into your shoulder girdle, drop your head. Think of the sides of the neck also and the collarbone as releasing. So you're not keeping tight in the front of your shoulders. Okay. And then pressing down to your elbows just a little bit, pulling the mat apart with elbows, like both elbows are trying to pull apart, knees pull apart. Push down through your hands, pick your ribs up into the shoulder girdle a little bit. Keep pressing down. Drop your chin in still, don't pick up the head. Then go ahead and let your belly release. Belly hangs first. Then start letting your chest hang back down. Head dropping too. Do that again. Press down to your elbows to pick your ribs up. Lift up your low belly a little bit. Round the hips. Drop your head in. Keep pressure in your hands and elbows. And then come forward further. Keep coming forward past your elbows. But don't drop. Don't drop. Keep up, Dorothy. Get up there. Keep your chest up. Now as you come forward, don't sink. Keep the elbows pressing. Keep your low belly lifted. Good. Now start sitting back like that. Keep your ribs back out of the shoulder blades. See how far back you can let the hips reach, keeping elbows stuck to the mat. Drop your head in. Breathe. 2 more breaths here. Long but soft. Now keep your forehead on the mat, a little bit of headstand prep. Press into the tops of the feet to come forward. Keep your head on the mat. You're going to roll toward the back of the head more, chin in. Keep pressure in tops of the feet, but don't tuck your tail and squeeze your glutes. Try to keep your lumbar spine flat with your sitting bones aimed backwards, with the bones at the base of the buttocks. Okay, take your hips over to the left. Roll to the left side of your head a little bit. Let your left shoulder release and shrug forward. Then bring left shoulder back. Try to feel the left side of the neck a little. Release the hips. Come through center. Roll the hips over to the right. Roll to the right side of your head. Let that right shoulder release and drop forward a little. And then roll right shoulder back. And come back to the middle. Hips reach back. Roll all the way back to your forehead. Try to keep letting your chest release so ribs will drop further back out of the shoulder girdle. Good. This time, bring your head up. Look forward first. Spread your fingers. Press into the tops of the feet as you come forward. Keep your chest as low as you can toward the mat. Keep your face facing the mat. Head dropping, chest dropping. Stay as low as you can as you come forward. Then dig through elbows. Pick your ribs back up. Good. Drop the chest down. Push through elbows. Pick the ribs up. Let the neck go. Really let your head hang. Now when you drop down, think of leading with your head. Chin dropping too. Drop down. Keep the head dropped. And then push through elbows. Bring it back up. Good. Now bring your elbows in closer. Bring your knees out further. Really widen the knees, tops of feet toward each other. See how wide you can take your knees here? And then sit back a little bit into your groin stretch. You have to have a groin stretch here. Okay. If you take the knees wide enough, you should feel front of hips and groin. Good. All right, now bring your elbows a little bit under you. Bring your upper body upright. head up, stay sitting back there. Stay sitting back there, look up here, Dorothy. Good. Keep your belly dropped, you should easily have your chest upright, and your ribs are trying to drop a little deeper. Head is up, don't look down at your mat, don't let the head bear down. Keep the back of the neck up. Now think of a Kegel exercise, and for a male, pulling member up into the body. Lift the pelvic floor, inhale. As you exhale, push the pelvic floor out. Think of pushing your low belly out, transverse abdominals pushing out. And then lift pelvic floor again. Feel how that talks to the front of the hips a little. Exhale, push out. Good. Come forward another inch or two. Bring your right shoulder further forward. Just shrug that right shoulder blade up the side of the back. Feel how that pulls you out of your low back and the front of the right hip. Let it go. Switch. Bring your left shoulder forward. Shrugging that left shoulder forward should bring you out of the front of the hip a little. Release. Bring them both forward. Lift your low belly a little bit. Good. Now inch further forward. Keep the belly hanging down toward the mat. Good. Now roll shoulders back. Push down through elbows to pull ribs a little forward out of hips. Keep releasing the front of the hips. Good. Press down through elbows. Lean forward. Pick your ribs up. Walk your knees back in. Good. Just a short front stretch. You should have felt front of the hips there too, yeah? Nothing in the low back at all. If you feel your low back when you do that, you have to put something under the belly to support it, whether it's a ball, a bolster, your blocks. Let's come up to hands. And go straight into a little bit of down dog. Really spread out the fingers. Before you push up into the feet, I want you to come forward. Inner spiral, arms so biceps face in. Not too far, just so biceps face in. Then think of those bottom two thumb knuckles right at the base of the hand. Push into those to pick your ribs up higher. You're going to slide shoulder blades apart, rock back and forth, weight going from one hand to the other. Now notice, almost everybody does this when they start learning, that you're picking your head up. Let the head drop, but keep the pressure in the thumb side of the hand. Start feeling that inner part of the shoulder on the inside of the neck coming through the collarbone area as you shift your weight side to side from arm to arm. Shift back and forth. Good. You're going to feel the chest and collarbone area. Don't unspin and respin arms. Keep them inner spiraled a little bit and just shift back and forth. Now keeping the head dropped, chin is dropped, two sides of neck are locked, outer spiral arms a little. Other way, Dorothy. Other way, outer spiral, yep. Now unlock your chest, drop a little deeper into it. And then push through the thumb knuckles, pick it back up. Now notice if you pitch the head up, let your head drop, but keep the pressure in the hands. Lean forward a little more so you're over hands. Shift into your left hand more. Keep the outer spiral, let your left hip release. Shift into your right hand more. Come back to the middle. Now keep the ribs that high at the shoulder girdle. See if they can go a little further by pushing into hands. Sit back about halfway. Drop your chin and pull your core back. Hold. Breathe. As you exhale, keep your head dropped. Keep the sides of the neck loose. Drop your chest down into your shoulder girdle right here at this angle. And then bring it back up. Okay, so look up here. Drop your chest down into shoulder girdle. That's it. And then bring it back up. Two more. Drop the chest down into shoulder girdle. Keep the head loose. Don't lift it up. Push your hands to bring ribs back. Last one. Drop the chest forward and down. Push your hands to bring the chest back. We're going to keep the chest this far back. Then press through feet into your down dog. Don't pick your head up in your down dog. Breathe. Let's take the feet about 2 inches apart for now. Try to bend the right knee, but don't let your whole right hip drop. Just bend the knee a little bit. Keep both sitting bones reaching back. Push through the thumb side of your hand for the purpose of bringing ribs back out of the shoulder blades. Let that chin come into your own collarbone, into the notches between the collarbone to push ribs back. Switch legs. Bend the left knee straight and the right, but both sitting bones are still back. Good, both legs straight. Good, now come high onto the toes. Good, you're going to slowly lower your right hip and right heel, but keep your left hip, left heel up. So legs stay straight. Hips stagger. Good, bring it back up. Lower left heel, keep right heel up. Hip staggering, bring it up. Lower right hip, right heel. The left foot's got to work to stay up. Keep your left heel in, don't let it bail out. Legs straight. Switch. Lower left hip, left heel. Now notice if you tighten neck, let your chin drop in. Good. Switch. Right hip, right heel. And switch. Both feet up. Bring your right leg straight up and back. Open up the hip. Good. Push into your hands to bring your ribs back more. Drop your chest back toward that leg. Drop your chin in. Look up your own body. Eyes try to gaze up the ribs, up the sternum. Slowly lower your left heel to the mat. Bend your left knee deeper. Good. Look under your left armpit even though the right leg is up. Try to twist to the left a little. Drop that right shoulder blade and come back to square. Re-straighten your left leg. Bring the right leg down slowly. Inner spiral the right leg to face left. Keep pressing through hands. Take hips back further. You can walk hands back on the mat a little bit to take the hips back further.
My arms are getting tired.
Breathe. Okay, bring the right leg to parallel. Roll the right hip back up. Right leg is up. During the switch legs. One more time. Roll your right hip down. Inner spiral the right leg. So the right knee and quad face left. Drop the right hip below the left. Let's drop your right armpit toward the mat a little bit. Look under the left armpit. Hug that left hip back. Now roll to your inner left foot. Push through left foot. Drop left heel to the mat as you bring the right leg up. Good. And bring it back down. Good. Let's go to side two. Bring that left leg straight back. Come up high on your right toes. Open up your left hip. Drop your chest back more. Chin in. Look up your own ribs. Good. Slowly lower the right heel to the mat. Bend the right knee a little deeper. Good. Re-straighten your right leg. Roll the left hip down. Left frontal hip tries to come into right groin. Inner spiral left leg. Look under your right armpit. Drop your left armpit. Twist. Good. Re-square the chest. Open the left hip up to the ceiling. Reaching right heel to the floor. Drop that right heel, chest back. Good. One more time. Roll it down. Left frontal hip comes into right groin. Hug that right hip back. Look under the right armpit. Twist. And then roll it back up. Good. And bring it down to the mat. Come high on your toes. Come forward halfway. Hold. Stay high on the toes. Drop down into the shoulder blades. Pick it up. Drop down into shoulder girdle. Pick it back up. Stay right there and push up. Don't go forward and back. Come forward, Jeannie. Come forward. Now drop into your shoulder blades. Good. Now just push straight down to the mat. There you go. Drop into shoulder blades. Push straight down to the mat. Drop your heels back, chest back, hips back, head back, chin in. And then slowly lower the knees, come back down. Good. Sit all the way back in child's pose. Untuck the toes. Breathe. Two more breaths here. Should be starting to warm up a bit. Let's keep the forehead on the mat. Press through the tops of the feet. Pull your heels apart just a little bit. So toes are going to touch, heels come apart. Press through the tops of the feet to roll up to the top of your head. Chin lifts up into your own chest. Really kind of pushing the mat away with the top of the head lifting the chin. Shoulders pick up away from ears. And then slowly roll back. Reach hips back first, sitting bones back. And slowly roll back all the way to your forehead again. So headstand prep, getting used to putting weight in your head and just getting that cervical spine and thoracic spine loose. This time let's bring the arms back, palms face the ceiling. Shoulders drape down to the mat. Let the shoulder blades spread. Let that inner shoulder release, the collarbone area on the front of the shoulder. Now keep heels open. Press through tops of feet. Try to keep the ankles on the ground. Roll all the way to the top of the head. Hands will drag along the mat. Now pick up your hands, pick up your shoulders away from the ears. Pick up shoulders. Then reach the hands back. Keep shoulders lifted. Don't interlace, just reach straight back. Good. Now untuck the tail, keep reaching hips back. Slowly sit back, reaching hands and hips back. Top of the head pushing the mat forward. Don't put the hands down. Come right back up slow as you came back. Chin tucks up, pubic bone stays back. Chin all the way up. Good, last one like that. Heels open. Roll back, chin reaching back away from your chest toward the mat as you roll back. Squish your nose a little at the bottom and inhale. As you exhale, let hands rest, let shoulders drop. Try to feel shoulder blades release a little more to the mat. One breath here. Literally squishing the nose a little. It'll widen your nostrils and widen that passage so you can breathe easier through your sinuses. Inhale. Hold that air in. Don't exhale. Press through the tops of the feet. Roll heavy on your head. Put as much weight into your head as you can. Chin tucks up. Exhale. Keep exhaling until you feel your ribs close. Keep exhaling. Keep exhaling. Now lift the hands up. Lift the shoulders up and reach back. Reach your pubic bone back. No tucking. Flat lumbar spine. There we go. Now interlace the fingers. Pull the wrists apart. And reach up and back. Try to come out of your chest more. Try to drop your hands further behind the head. Roll a little further on the head. Good. Now slowly roll back. Hands stay reaching for the ceiling as you roll back. Think of your shoulders rolling forward, chin rolling back until nose is squished. And come right back up. Try to keep the arms up to the ceiling and then dropping forward. When you bring your chin up into your sternum, bring your hands straight to the ceiling, lengthen your neck. Breathe. Start rolling back, chin reaching back, shoulders rolling forward, hands reaching for the parking lot, past your head for the beach. Reach the hips back, and then let your hands drop all the way back. Good. All right, so sit up for a second, guys. Look up here. When you come up, right, and your arms are up. It's a little counterintuitive. You're pulling wrists apart, keeping fingers together. Right? That pulling apart should help you roll your shoulders forward. When the shoulders roll forward, your chin drops back. And when you roll more to the top of the head, your hands reach up and the chin gets long. Okay, so it feels like you're kind of crunching the back of the neck, but you're really opening the front of the shoulders in front of the neck. And when you come back up, you're really opening the back of the neck too. You see it? So it's counterintuitive. As you roll back with your chin and your hips, your shoulders roll forward. And then as you roll to the top of the head, your hands reach up and the neck gets long. Yeah?
Try it.
See what it looks like? Let's try it again. If it's too tight in the hands to get your arms up that high, get your band. Let's try it with the band. Take the band behind your back, even if you can touch.
I didn't get one.
Oh, you didn't get a band today? Of course, it's just because we used it today. You know, there, the little black box on top. A band or a yoga strap will work, right? So hold your band right behind your low back. Hold it about as wide as, let's say, the inside of the mat. So fists are about as wide as the mat. And you've got it in your hands with your palms facing back. Yeah? Okay, now round down over the legs again, put the forehead on the floor. Press into the tops of the feet to come up, lift your hands up to the ceiling. Good, now it should be a lot easier to drop the arms behind you. Good, now roll your shoulders forward toward your collarbone. Now start rolling about halfway back. Chin reaching back, roll to your forehead more. And then keep your arms up, keep your arms up. There we go. Now roll more to the top of the head. Chin in, roll to the top of the head. Come on, Dorothy, come back up. Come back up. Now reach fist to the ceiling. Fist to the ceiling. No, not forward. Fist to the ceiling. Reach up. Come on, reach up, Dorothy. That's forward. Reach up to the ceiling. There you go, long neck. Good. Now, roll your chin back. Hands go to parking lot. Hands go past your head. Chin reaching back. And roll hands to parking lot. There you go, Dorothy. It feels like it squishes the back of the neck. Now roll to the top of the head. Hands reach up, straight up to the ceiling. There's a long neck. You guys feeling this? One more time. Roll back, chin reaching back. Roll to forehead. Hands drop back behind you to the parking lot. Good. And then roll to the top of the head, hands reach for the ceiling. Reach for the ceiling, there's the long neck. Good, and bring it all the way back. Keep the long neck, hands come down. Yeah, you guys feel the difference?
That's new. That's new.
All right, get ready your strap.
That was helpful.
The strap's helpful, right? Because
Yes.
you didn't have the room to move.
Couldn't do it.
With the hands interlaced. Okay, good. All right, let's come back, hands to the mat. Spread the fingers out a lot, tuck the toes. That space you just made right here in your inner shoulder, when your shoulders rolled forward, I want to play with that. Drop down into the shoulder blades, let the head release. Your arms, you have to separate the chest being engaged from the triceps being engaged. The arms are straightened from the muscle right here on the back of the arm, the tricep pulling. But then let your chest release so that even though arms stay straight, you can really drop into your shoulder blades. Yeah? Then when you go to press the floor away, it's really easy to pick the ribs back up again. Good. Drop down into shoulder blades, keeping arms straight. Yeah, you guys are getting good at that. Now, even the inner shoulder, let the sides of the neck hang, the chin hang. Don't keep that tight. When you come up, don't pick your head up. Keep the top of the head reaching for the floor as you push the floor away with your thumb knuckles. Yes, good. Feel that inner part of the shoulder more. One more time. Think of your head as leading the dive. Then sides of the neck growing long as you drop down into shoulder blades. And then slide it apart to come up. Now keep your ribs that far back out of the shoulder girdle, that much length. Sit back in the hips about halfway. Hold. Now push into the feet to take hips back into down dog, staying that long in your side body. Yes, this is a different down dog. Sometimes we'll integrate ribs with shoulder blades more, but for now I want you really long. Bring your right leg straight back, open up the hip. Drop your chest back a little deeper. Gotta put the top of the head toward the mat or on the mat. Breathe. Okay, if your head is down, pick it up. Bring that knee into your nose, but keep your sitting bones back. So don't tuck tail and come forward. Keep hips back. Bring the heel up toward the buttocks. Bring the knee towards your nose. Keep dropping chest back, hips back. Breathe. Extend the legs straight back and up. Open up the hip one more time. Drop the chest back, head back. Bring your leg back in. Knee to nose, but hips stay back. Pubic bone back. Come high on your left toes. Good. Don't round that spine. Both of you should have a flat back. There we go. Okay. Now pick up your low belly. Push the mat away from around the spine. Keep your chin in. Start coming forward. Keep your chin up like it's pushing your ribs up to the ceiling. Stay that high. Stay rounded. Now flatten it out here. Don't let the knee touch the ground, but flatten it out like you're in plank. Then push back with hands. Your heel, left heel is going to drop back. Then bring the heel toward the mat. Hips back to that three-legged down dog. Lengthen your right leg up. Good. This time, open up the hips, face the right. Tip your hips left a little bit, but bring your right leg straight out to the right. Right toes right where your nose is. Right leg straight out to the right, hips go left, hold. Bring your right foot forward, step outside your right hand. Turn the heel in, the toes out. Drop your hips into the stretch. Longer stance, there we go. Strong back foot, heel is right above the ball of the foot. Keep dropping hips into the stretch. Breathe. Okay, let's press down through the front foot to pick the hips up. Tent your fingers. Spread shoulder blades, come as high as you can. Push through that back foot. Inhale. Exhale for as long as you can until you start to feel your ribs close together into each other. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale for as long as you can. Press through the thumbs. Pick your ribs up. Good. Now slowly, letting the head dive, drop the chest into the shoulder girdle. And bend your front knee about halfway. Drop your back heel back as far as it'll go and flatten out the hands. No more 10. Bend elbows straight back. Shoulders pull back, bring your chest forward. Flatten out the back. Think up dog here. And then drop your hips lower as you bend elbows and drop chest lower. It's like a chaturanga or up dog mixed with the lizard. Then press into straighter arms. Then press into the front foot to come up. 10 fingers. And roll your left hip open to face me. Spin your left heel in and down. Good. We're going to play with that back foot. It's going to come right back up again. Spin it forward. Drop your left hip forward with that spin. Bend your right knee halfway. Drop your left heel back, flatten out your hands. Bend your elbows straight back and hug them toward each other soft. Pull shoulders back, but chest forward. Drop hips, drop chest, into that lizard meets chaturanga. Explode through hands and front leg. Straighten. Spin the back heel in and down. Heel tie that foot in a little bit. This time we're going to stay here. Bring your left arm up. Open up the chest. Good. So it's a funny little triangle. Breathe. Bend the front knee. Bring that left arm right over your head. Got longer stance, Dorothy. Bring it back up. One more time. Bend the front knee. Bring the top arm and reach. Come on, drop your hips more. There we go. Use that back foot, grabbing the mat. Straighten the front leg. Bring the arm up and then all the way back to mat. Spin on the toes of the back foot. Bend the front knee again. Drop hips down. Good. Now bring your left shoulder forward. Sit into that left hand. Try not to put the back knee down. You can if you need to, but if you can keep it in the air, keep it there. As your left shoulder slides forward, reach the left heel back just a touch. Feels like the ball of the foot digs into the mat and scoops it forward, that back foot. Should feel length in your left psoas. Now do the same thing on the right side, but now you've got to use your right foot, really pushing the mat away a little bit. Open that right knee, bring the right shoulder forward. Just feel that same length in your right side. Rock back to the left. Left shoulder forward, left ball of the foot pulling back. Keep the hip inside the hand, don't lean too far. And then go to the right. Good, put the back knee down. Grab your bolster, pull it to you. Bring elbows to the bolster. Keep the right toes turned out. If you're really tight here, maybe you need a second bolster, or maybe you need a coffee table. All right, bring your right elbow to the front of the bolster. Bring your left elbow a touch back. So you're kind of making a square or a right angle, 90-degree angle with the forearms. Keep holding onto the front of the bolster. Push with right foot a little bit. Open and spread your right toes. How far can you drop that right knee or right hip open while keeping right shoulder going forward and across to the left? Purposely pulling that right shoulder blade up and pulling the right hip back. Guys, feel that stretch?
Mm-hmm.
Now notice if you're crushing your left shoulder back, don't crush the left side. Keep the left shoulder a little forward too. If you want to go deeper, you can pick up the back leg.
This must be part of the page.
Your favorite, right? All right, bring that right elbow back. Good. Let's bring hands to your bolster. Press into the hands to pick your hips up. Good. Now spin that back heel in and down and then heel toe it in a little bit. Good. Roll the chest open. Bring your left arm over your head. Reach out of the left hand as much as you can. Pull the right sitting bone back. Good job. Now dig into your right toes a little bit. Grab the mat with the toes. Bend the right knee forward. Good, and then straighten that right leg back. Now, come onto the toes of your left foot and see if you can drop left hip, left shoulder down. Keep your balance. Hug your right hip back. And bring your hand to your bolster. Good. Drop back down into your stretch here. Open the hips by dropping hips into that back foot. Open the right knee. Roll shoulders back a little. Good. And put the back knee down. Last one here. Come to elbows. This time bring your elbows forward on your bolster. Try to pull bolster back a little bit. Drag yourself further forward. Pulling ribs out of the hip. Keep your right knee open and stay on top of that right knee. Really lean right. Good. Push down through elbows, pick up ribs. Bring ribs forward and down. Do it again. Push down through elbows, pick up ribs. Push through the right foot a little bit. Bring ribs forward and down. Good. Feel like you're getting a little more space in that hip. Good job. All right, come back to your hands. Keep the foot in the mat. Sit back into a half split. Let the toes come up. Hold on to the front of the bolster. Drop your chin and feel like your chin is pushing your own rib cage back. And see how far back you can sit like that towards your left heel. Look under left armpit. Drop your right shoulder into the right side of the groin. inside the right groin if you can, and feel that left hip open more. Bring it back up. Good, how are we doing? Okay, pull the bolster back further. Behind the heel. Come forward until the front of your left hip can touch your bolster. Bring your left hand to the ground in front of the bolster. Good. Open your right knee away from you, turn your right toes out further. Good, and then see if you can reach back for the back leg. Should be easier here with the hip on a bolster. No, come further forward, get on your bolster more. There you go. You need another bolster, Dorothy. Get your purple one. All right, Jeannie, you got it. Pull the foot into you. Keep the hip resting into the bolster. Really sit into that left hand. That's it. Now push through the hand to bring your ribs back up. Do it again. Drop down. That's it. Chin in more. Push through hand. Bring the ribs back up. One more time. Drop down. You know how that's helping you get out of your hip flexor?
Oh yeah.
Push through the hand. Pick it back up. Now push your foot back into your hand. Open your chest. That's it. Good. Now bring the foot in. Drop into your left shoulder blade. Strong hand, Dorothy. You got to push the floor away with that left hand. Bring it back up. One more time. Drop into it. Your hand has to be a boundary. Push the floor away to bring it up. Hold. Breathe. Come on, push that floor away, Dorothy. Now drop back into it. Let your left hip drop into the bolster more. Good. Feel that in the psoas. Open the right knee. One more time. Pick it up and let it go. Good job, guys.
Whew.
That's the first time you got that foot there.
I think it is, that
Yeah.
leg.
Yeah, me
With
too.
this boundary, it helps, right? You've
Yeah.
got some place to the hip for the hip to rest into.
Yeah.
You got the foot.
Yeah.
Did you feel the stretch in the front of the
Yeah.
hip? Good. All right. Bring it back. Go ahead and push into the back foot. Stack the right foot back into your down dog again. Keep the bolster right behind the hands. See if you can drop your chest back till your forearms feel the bolster. Pull your shoulders back like you're trying to dig forearms into the bolster. Then drop your chin in. Try to put the top of the head on your bolster or toward it and drop your hips further back. Not liking the alignment there. Come on now. Let's get the bolster out of the way. Push it forward. Back to where it was in its waiting place. Hands back to the mat. Let's try a block. So here's what you're trying to do. I'll show you without a block. I want you guys to start feeling the side of the neck and the chest and bringing the chest out of the shoulder girdle more. So when you're in your down dog, we're going to use the head. Watch the shoulder blades. With the head on a surface, when you press your chin back, see how that helps me push my ribs back out of the shoulder blades more? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll try it with a block. Maybe you need two.
I use big blue one.
I've got big blue.
Okay, try the big blue block. Yeah? Let's try it without the hips being in the air. You're going to put the top of the head on the block. Walk the hands forward a little bit on the mat. So you're in your down dog, straight arms. Straight arms, pretty straight. Okay? Then drop your chin back, chest back. Hands feel like they're trying to hold on to the mat, not lose the mat, and your chest drops back further. Feel that length in your inner shoulder and chest?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, roll back to the top of the head, let your elbows bend and hang toward the mat. Bend and hang toward the mat, Dorothy. That's out to the side. Pull them in. There we go. Feel the shoulders release. Yeah, you too, Jeannie. Pull elbows in toward you. Let them hang. There we go. Shoulders just released. Okay, now as you sit back, keep that loose feeling in the shoulders. Let the arms straighten. Good. Do it again. Roll to the top of the head, elbows hang. There's loose shoulders. Good. Walk your hands forward further. Now let elbows hang again. Good. Now start sitting back. See if you can straighten arms a little further. Keep chest reaching back. Inhale. Exhale, pull your ribs back. Good. Feel that length in your chest. One more time. Roll forward. Let the elbows hang and be loose. Let your shoulders hang. Okay. And then sit back. Straightening arms. Good. Feel that pulling out of your chest a little more. Come back up. This time let's add. Keep your hands on the ground. Push into your feet till you bring your hips up. Find your down dog with your head on the block. Hips up. Hips up. There we go. Now elbows hug in, not out. Use your head pushing your block forward, chin back, butt back. Butt back. There you go. There's that long spine. Now elbows in, Dorothy. There you go. Now try to straighten the arms there, pushing the mat forward. Elbows in when you do that. Okay, pretty good. There we go. Better. Guys, feel that shoulder stretch, chest stretch. Okay, roll to the top of the head, bend your elbows. In, elbows in, let your chest release. Now bring it back. Use your head to help you straighten arms. Keep elbows in, chest loose. Better, getting longer. There we go. Yep. All right, bring the knees back down, bring the head up, get rid of your block. Good. You guys feel that a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Different? Yeah. So you want to get that feeling of getting long out of the chest when you come back. All right, side two. Spread the fingers out. Okay. Keeping arms fairly straight or straight. Release the chest and let your neck drop. Even the sides of the neck hang. The front of the neck hang, belly hangs. And then push the floor away to bring the ribs up. Don't pick up the back of your head. Pick your ribs up higher. Lift your low belly a little bit. Good. Keep ribs up higher. Feel a stretch across your upper back. And then come forward. Let your belly go. Let your hips drop. And let chest drop, head leading. Arms stay straighter. Strong arms. Okay, pick the ribs up by pushing through the hands. All right, sit halfway back. Pull your ribs back out of the shoulder girdle. Keep your chin in and back. Then push feet into the mat. Bring hips up and back. Long chest. Yes, good. Get that chest long. Keep elbows rolled in. Don't outer spiral the arms. There you go. Now chest long by pushing through hands, Dorothy. Hips reach back. Good. You guys feel that chest a little more? Okay. Where are we on? Left leg, right? Left leg straight up and back. Open up your hip. Keep your chest long. Drop that right heel to the mat. Bring your left leg out to the left. Drop your hips a little right. Push into your right hand. Good. Bring that left foot all the way forward. Step it outside your left hand. Turn left toes out. Wiggle right foot back a little if you need to get your length. Try to drop your hips down. Feel that stretch as the right hip hangs into that boundary. Now feel a little bit of right quad straightening the leg, like you're pulling out of the front of the hip. At the same time, bring your right shoulder forward. So your right quad is straightening the leg back, pulling the thigh back as the right shoulder pulls forward. Feel that stretch in your psoas? Okay, now do the other side. Pull left shoulder forward, open left hip. Good. Open that left knee more, much more, Dorothy. Turn your foot out. Get some space between your thigh and your ribs on that left side. Get that left shoulder forward. There you go. Start to feel that a little.
I feel it a lot.
Switch. Bring the right shoulder forward. Good. Switch. Open the left knee. Really open the knee out to the side. Get it away from your ribs. That's it. Right there. Much better, Dorothy. Come back. Keep that left knee open. Don't let it collapse into your rib cage when you lean right. And then switch. Good. Push into the front foot to straighten the leg. Let's tent fingers down. Now drop your head. Picking up the back of the head doesn't help you. It just locks up your thoracic spine. Drop the head. Feel your chest drop deeper into the shoulder blades. Keep the thumb pressing. Now push through the thumbs. Pick your ribs back up. Good. Let your head go. That's it. When your hands press, your head does not lift. Drop down, head leading. Drop into the shoulder blade. There we go. You both got it. Push down through your hands. Pick it up. Drop down, head leading. Good. You can flatten hands now. Hands are done. Bend your left knee about halfway. Hold. Drop your right heel back. Bend your elbows straight back. Hug them in, but don't close the chest. Pull shoulders back. Open the chest. Drop hips and ribs down. Hips below ribs. Chest scooping forward. And you're in that sort of chaturanga meets a, or an up dog meets a lizard. And explode through arms first, keeping hips dropped. And push through the leg, bring it up. Let's tent fingers again. Drop head and neck, but keep hands strong. Then press, especially through thumbs, to pick ribs up higher with the belly. Now when you drop, lead with head. Head hangs first. Good, then push through thumbs, bring it up. Good, last one, drop down, head hangs. Good, push through thumbs, bring it up. Now spin your right heel in and down. Good, bring your left hand flat, bring that right arm all the way up. Good, try to drag left hip back. Ribs drop forward out of that left hip. Bring your right arm over your head. Bend the left knee, drop the hips. Push through the left foot, re-straighten. Bring the arm back up. One more time. Bring the arm overhead. Get long on the right side. Bend the left knee. Get long on the left side. Keep your left shoulder forward a little. Bring the hips back. Bring the arm up. Good. Let's sweep the right arm forward. Come high onto the right toes and try to spin the hip forward, ribs forward. Bring your hand into the mat. Good job. Bend the left knee about halfway. Drop the right heel back. Now shrug shoulders a little forward. Then bend the elbows back. We've disengaged serratus. Now find these muscles here. Serratus without chest. Don't squeeze in so that your upper arm attaches to the chest. Pull shoulders back. Then pull elbows in a little. Then drop down into that stretch. Yeah, we're starting to feel more length. And then press through straighter arms. Good. Go ahead and grab your bolster now. Let's bring elbows to the bolster. Try to keep that back knee in the air for now if we can. How are we doing? Alright. Press through your left foot a little bit to raise hips. Press through elbows a little bit to raise ribs. Drop head without losing the pressure in elbows. Pick up the belly. Good. Now drop chest, the head leading, then drop your back hip. Good. Put the back knee down for a minute. Alright. Situate your elbows. Bring your left elbow forward to the front of the bolster. Bring your right elbow in a little bit. So you're making a box. You're making a 90-degree angle with the forearms. Drop the left knee open. Use the foot to push the mat away to drop your left hip back a little bit. And bring your left shoulder forward and collarbone to jawline across to the right. Open that knee away from you, Dorothy. Bring your foot up outside the bolster more.
I don't think I can do all this stuff.
There you go. Okay, get a second bolster. Get your purple bolster there. Put it up on top. Okay, good. Now get that upper leg away from your ribs, both of you. That's it. Now turn your toes out to the left more, Dorothy. Good. Now keep that upper leg away from you. There we go. That's the stretch. Now pull your shoulder forward, keeping the leg open. Left shoulder forward, leg open. There we go. Feel that stretch? All right. Breathe. Now don't crush your right side. All right. Bring it back up. Good job, guys. Come back to your hands. Okay. You both have your second bolster there. Push into your back foot. Pull your bolsters back. Behind the front heel. Just behind. Try that. Go further. Okay, put the back knee down again, and you should be able to put hands to the mat in front of your bolster and put the back hip against your bolster. I want your hip flexor touching the bolster. You got it this time? Yeah? Okay, now keep the left knee away from you, all right? And lean into your right hand. Bring your right shoulder forward. Feel how that opens up your right hip a little bit? Get on top of your bolster more if you need to. There we go. Now reach your left arm back, pop the foot up. Good. Both of you. Get that foot open wider, Dorothy. Get your foot flat. Your left foot.
This foot.
Yeah. There you go. It's got to support you. Perfect. Okay, now sit into that right shoulder blade. Push the ground away. Come out of the right shoulder blade. Do it again. Sit into it. Push the ground away. Come out of it. Two more. Sit into the right shoulder blade. Pull the back foot in a little. Yep. And then come out of it. Try to keep the foot pulled in. Feel that hip flexor open more. Sit into the shoulder blade. Good. And then come out of it. Good. Now push your foot back into your hand. Open your chest. Open the left knee away. Good. And then sit into shoulder blade. Good. Let it go. And go ahead and step down. Stay on the knees. Good. All right. How are we doing? Get rid of your purple bolster. Just keep the orange one. Bring elbows on top. Hands in prayer. Walk your knees back pretty far on the mat. And you're going to test it by sitting back. Your ribs shouldn't touch your thighs. I've got kind of a loose shirt on today. But ribs don't touch the thighs. They may come close, but they don't touch. Yeah? Okay. Now elbows are forward and together. This is the one we do where you have to keep that outer spiral in the arm. So bicep is going to face forward. You should not feel pain in the top of the shoulder at all. Okay, as you come forward, your chest comes over elbows. Hands are in prayer. Push down through your elbows, but keep your head dropping. So the hard part is to coordinate, keeping pressure in the elbows, but head, neck, chest, or head and neck released. Come forward, Dorothy, and push down your elbows. Pick your ribs up. They're not up yet. I know you can pick your ribs up. Come there, that's ribs up, but you had to bring hips under you to help.
Mhm.
All right, drop your ribs back down. Good, do it again. Don't use hips to help, just push your elbows to bring ribs up. Now lift low belly. Good. Now start sitting back. Squeeze your head through your arms and past your bolster. Yeah, do we get heads to the floor?
Not quite.
Not quite. Walk your knees back. Yep. Now?
Yep.
All right, Jeannie, your head's on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
All right, bend the elbows till hands come up to the thoracic spine. Good, let your hips drop back a little deeper. Good, let's keep toes tucked. Toes tucked. Good, breathe. Open heels a little bit, keeping inner feet touching. Knees pull open a little bit. Feel how that makes a little space in the front of your hips. Try to sit back a little deeper. Okay, so feel the shoulder stretch and the side body stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now press your feet a little bit. Pick up low belly. Rounding forward. Keep your head pinned against the bolster. How far forward can you round with head pinned against the bolster? Soften your chest. Try to bring your right shoulder forward. It probably won't move much. And then back. Left shoulder forward and then back. Good. Sit your hips back again. Into both shoulders, softly shrugging forward as you sit hips back. Breathe. Bring your hands forward. Let your chest open more. And then bring the hands back in. Let's do that again. Inhale here. Exhale as you bring your hands forward. Keep exhaling until you feel your ribs close. One more. Inhale, bring the hands in. Keep dropping ribs. Exhale, reach the hands forward. Good. Last one. Inhale, bring the hands in. This time, exhale, press through feet, round it up. Chin in, back of the head into the bolster. Keep exhaling until your ribs close. Keep ribs closing, keep ribs closing, keep pressing into your neck stretch. Good, stay here, inhale. Exhale till ribs close. Push your elbows a little bit. Slowly roll back. Let head drop to the mat. Let hips release further out of the shoulders. Keep hands back, elbows back. Okay, a little different this time. Push your feet to come halfway up. Okay, inhale there. Exhale, start closing your ribs. Push your elbows and shrug shoulders round up. Think of a cat-cow in this shape. Keep trying to shrug shoulders. And then unshrug shoulders, let your head drop first through shoulder blades. Then hips drop back, ribs reach back. Yeah, are we feeling that? One more, push through feet about halfway, hold. Inhale. Exhale as long as you can until you start to feel ribs close. When you start to feel ribs close, push your elbows, pick your ribs up. Round, think cat-cow. Hands push into each other. Spread those fingers out, Dorothy. Don't let your hands disengage. Okay. And then drop your head into the mat first. Keep hands engaged, then drop hips back. Ribs open. Good. Then hands reach forward. Let yourself slide back further toward child's pose. Hands grab the round part of your bolster. Soften your chest and breathe. Exhale for as long as you can until your ribs start to close. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Feel that natural pull of the diaphragm, pulling your ribs together. One more breath here. Exhale. Keep exhaling. Try to do exhale through the nose. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling until you feel ribs close. Pull back with ribs. And then release. Bring your arms back. Palms facing up. Untuck your toes. Sit back in your child's pose. How are we feeling?
Good.
Okay. Bring your hands pretty much next to your knees, right where you can see them. Roll to the top of your head. Okay, hands may need to be a little closer. Tuck your toes. Keep shoulders lifting up away from the ears. Pick your hips up. Feel that weight come into the head. Headstand prep. Shoulders stay lifted. Good. See if you can come all the way to the your toes, keeping shoulders lifted. See if you can bring one leg straight up above you. Really reach through that leg. If you reach enough, the other leg gets light. Keep the shoulders lifted to feel the serratus engaged. The serratus are those muscles underneath the shoulder blade. Slowly bring the leg back down, all the way to the mat. Okay. If you need to rest in between, you can. If not, come to your other side. Lift your left leg up slowly. Keep your shoulders lifting. And if you reach enough through that left leg, you may get lighter in the right leg. Keep shoulders up, head pushing the mat away, chin in a little. Breathe. Okay, slowly bring it down. Roll your chin back. Try to push your ribs back, and then bend your knees, come to the mat. Untuck the toes, sit all the way back on your forehead. Bring your hands back and rest in your child's pose. How are we doing? Headstand prep getting easier? Not so much. Hands by your head, push into the ground. Look at one spot as you bring your head up. Refocus, see if you're dizzy. Let's do hands and feet. Tuck the toes again. Walk your knees back as much as you can toward the toes without letting toes slide. Right? You're trying to get more and more of the ball of the foot into the mat. Sit on the heels. Okay? Good. Turn the hands backwards. Or you can use bolster and put your hands on that arc. That's a little softer stretch, right? Bolster or pranayama pillow, okay? From here, keeping the hands turned back, let's push the mat away, pull back out of the shoulder girdle, don't pick head up. Drop chin in, lift your low belly. Breathe. As you exhale, leading with the head, drop into the shoulder girdle. Belly drops forward into an arched back. Do it again. Press through hands a little. See if you can bend elbows just a touch. And press the mat away with hands to bring your ribs back. Lift your low belly, drop the head in. And then drop back into the shoulder blades, head leading. Belly drop and roll back. Good. Roll back in your right hand. Slide it forward on your bolster or on the mat, just bending knuckles back. Roll through the hand. Reach the base of the hand forward, but pull ribs back. You're trying to make space in the serratus. And then push into feet. Drop your chest into that shoulder blade. Drop your head. Let your left elbow bend. Let the belly drop. Push down through the hand to pick up ribs. And then drop back down. Good. Push down through hand, pick up ribs. Pick up your core. Start sitting back, pulling ribs back, reaching the base of the hand forward, and roll back out of that hand stretch. Come to knuckles, and then flatten it. Roll the left hand back, slide it out in front, either on the bolster or on the mat. As you reach the hand forward, pull your ribs back with your core muscles. Good, then push through the feet to come forward, drop into that shoulder blade, drop the head, and then softly push the mat away to pick ribs up. One more time, drop into it. Good. Push the mat away to pick ribs up. Pick up your low belly, pick up ribs, sit back. Keep the hand reaching forward as ribs pull back, and then roll back out of the hand. Come to knuckles. Good. How we go?
Much better with bolster.
Better with the bolster? Yeah, it's a softer hand stretch, right?
Yeah.
Good. All right, let's go ahead and 10 fingers. See if we can pick the knees up and sit back. Good. Open knees out to the side. Try to fit your ribs inside there. Sit back as far as you can. You don't want to tent fingers and let elbows hang. Flatten hands. And then sit your hips back. Drop your head down. Press through the feet for a minute to pick your butt up a little bit. And then take your butt as far back behind the heels as you can and drop it down. Go a little longer in your hips. Good. Breathe. Okay. Let's come onto the toes now. Keep your hands where they are, elbows toward the mat, knees hug in near the upper arm, the armpit. Slide the knees down to elbow tips. Elbows stay very close to the ground, arms are bent. Knees pull in on elbows, elbows pull out against knees. Drop the head. Try to pick ribs up into the shoulder blades, and then drop back down. Do it again, pick the ribs up, drop back down. Last one, pick ribs up, drop down, hold. Slide the knees off the elbows, straighten the arms. Sit back on the hips, walk your hands back. Pull knees inside the arms, tent the fingers. Drop your heels back, hips back, knees forward, shoulders forward. You're getting small over the thigh, trying to stretch the feet and work the feet. One more, or two more. We're going to press through the ball of the foot. Really spread toes out on the mat. As your heels come up, your hips kind of scoop under the heels, and your knees push the chest back a little bit. Good. Then hips back, heels back, chest forward, knees forward. There's a counterbalance there. Let the head hang. Breathe. One more time. Grab mat with the ball of the foot. Bring heels up. Knees up. Hips forward. Good. See if you can find your balance there. Come to one or two fingers on each hand. Hug the knees in just a little, but open the heels just a touch. Lift mula bandha, lift pelvic floor. Open elbows, but pull shoulders down. Feel serratus. Try to feel your serratus, pull the shoulder blades down, but then your low belly mula bandha pull up inside of that. They fit together like a puzzle piece. Keeping that all engaged, maybe you can find your balance here and keep working on serratus down with mula bandha up. Breathe. Hands to the mat, tent fingers, pick up hips, drop the heels. Heel toe the feet apart. Drop your head, hold opposite elbows, let your body hang here. Open your feet as wide as the mat and open your heels a little wider than the mat. Bend knees as much as you need to feel like your ribs can get in connection with the groin or thighs. Pick your shoulders up and then drop back down, let it hang. Pick the shoulders up, good, not the whole back, and then drop back down. Don't pick your back up, do that softer, pick just shoulders. There we go, and drop back down. Very nice. Now try to straighten the legs a little deeper. Keep the elbows reaching for the floor, chin in. Tip your weight forward to the ball of the foot. Breathe. Good job. Okay, slowly bring the back up, flat back, elbow still facing the back. Hold. Yep, flat back here. Now unlock your knees. Pick up your low belly to try to round. That's actually a little difficult. Good. Then flatten it back out with knees bent. Re-straighten legs, hang back down, drop the head. One more time, come to a flat back. Pull shoulders away from ears to feel serratus. Now unlock your knees, keep the serratus, pick up your low belly, dig through heels to push the floor away. There we go, bend your knees. That's it. Unround the back, drop the chest. Good, you guys feel that a little bit?
Yes.
Hands forward, feet a little wider, tent fingers. Rock back and forth between the hips. Bring that right hip across to the left, and then left hip across to the right. Good. Just keep letting the hips rock back and forth. Good. Feel that movement through the hips. Last one, keep the right hip across. Turn your left toes out. Bring your hands over to the left. Heel toe the left foot back a little bit. Turn your left toes out, Berkey. All the way. Turn them out. Heel toe it back, away from me. Okay. Fingers are tented right inside your left heel. Roll your right hip to the left. Come to the inner arch of your right foot. And then roll it back open again. Okay, don't just move upper body. Come to inner arch of right foot. Roll your right hip forward. Left hip pulling back. Shoulders shrug forward. Good. And then roll to outer right foot. Hip drops back. Good. You guys feel that a little? Roll to inner foot. Roll that hip forward. That's it. And roll it back. Last one, roll to inner right foot, roll right hip forward, bring left arm up, twist. That's it. Bring the left arm forward over your head. Reach out to your left side and bring it back down. Open up the hip, drop right hip back, twist the other way. Not easier. Good. And then bring it back down. Walk back to the middle. Good. And turn your left toes in, even up your feet, make them on the same plane. Good. Turn your right toes out to the right. Walk your hand inside the right foot, and then heel toe your foot away from the hand a little. We're purposely staggering so that your right heel is behind the left heel. So take that foot back that way. Keep going, Ruthie, keep going. You too, Jeannie, a little further. There we go. Okay, roll to inner left foot, roll left hip forward, reach your ribs forward. There we go. Then push through right heel, roll it back. Roll the hip back. Left hip back. Hey, there we go. Now left hip forward, ribs have to go forward too. Roll to inner left foot. There we go. Roll to outer left foot, roll left hip back. Center. Roll to inner left foot, left hip forward, ribs go forward, now get longer. Good. Push through right heel, roll it back. Good. You guys feel the rolling through the hips a little? One more time. Roll to inner left foot, hips go forward. Bring your right arm up, twist. Keep dropping left hip forward. Keep dropping left hip forward, hug right hip back. Don't do it from hand, soften that hand, Dorothy. That hand is reach, the right hand has to soften. Yeah, your hand's reaching way too hard. Bring your arm more up by your ear. Both of you. All right. And then drop back down. Switch. Hips drop back. Bring your left arm up. Breathe. Reach the arm by the ear. Roll left hip, left shoulder down and forward. Bring hands back to the mat. Good. Walk it back to the middle. Turn the toes back in. Feet on the same plane again. Bend your knees forward. Walk your hands back a little. Keeping the knees bent forward. Hug them in. Lift Mula Bandha around. Think cat-cow. Drop right hip forward, right knee in and down a little bit, and bring it back. Drop left hip forward, left hip in and down, then bring it back. Now do them both. Both knees hug in, lift outer feet, lift low belly around, and flatten that out. Sitting bones back, butt back, chest drops. Sit as far into that squat as you can. Bend the knees. Breathe. And walk the arms forward. Hop your feet in, and come back down. Good. Turn around. And sit. All right. Grab your bolster. Sit on it. Tailbone under, hands on the mat. Feet out in front. Hands way back behind you. Shoulders. Spread your fingers out. Hands are as wide as the mat. Tails much further under. Dorothy. Get your low back on that bolster. Yeah. Roll your shoulders forward. Good. Bring your feet wider. Wide as the mat. Good. Lean into your right hand. Bend your right elbow. Feel that stretch in the shoulder. Lift your outer right foot. Drop your right knee across. Keep your left hand helping to push you further right. Feel that little twist? Good. If you want to add, you can cross the left ankle over the right, pull across. Now roll your right shoulder back a little, and then roll it forward. Do it again, roll right shoulder back, use that right hand, roll it forward. Uncross the leg, come out of your twist, lean into your left hand. Roll the left shoulder forward, elbow wide, use the hand, push the mat away. Lift your outer left foot, drop the knee across first. Good. Just keep that for a minute. Roll the shoulder back, left shoulder back, roll left shoulder forward. Do it again. Roll left shoulder back. Yep, feel how that opens your ribs. Roll the shoulder forward. Now cross right leg over. Yep. Roll your left shoulder back. Keep pulling across with the right leg. Roll it forward. One more time. Roll back. Feel that up through psoas and hip. Roll it forward. Good. Uncross the legs. Both knees rest in on each other. Make sure they can actually rest. Outer feet can lift a little. Roll shoulders forward, chin in. Bend your elbows out to the sides more, like you're pulling the back of the ribs out of the low back. Low belly sinks. Yeah, feel that stretch in the upper back too. Now roll shoulders forward. Push the mat away with hands. Chin in. Try to go to straighter arms. And then bend elbows out to the sides. Ribs dropping into that stretch a little deeper. Keep pulling elbows wide. Shoulders forward, chin in. Good. And last one, push through straighter arms. This time, roll your hips forward, open the knees, roll your shoulders back, get longer. Good. And then roll the hips back, low belly in, knees together, roll shoulders forward, bend elbows wider. Good job. And come on. Good. How are we going?
Good.
Little
The little belly.
Huh?
The little belly. The little belly here.
Good. Lay back so your shoulders are on the ground.
Oh.
That feels good.
Ugh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Pull your bolster up a lot higher than we usually do. As high as you can into the shoulder blades. Got it up there?
Yeah.
Okay? So you got a little upper back bend and your tailbone gets to hang off the front of your bolster a little. Bring your arms up and release fingers. Flip the hands over. Reach through thumbs and pinkies, reach back. Long as you can. Let your hips drop, tailbone drop, and reach through hands. Should feel like a back bend. You can use feet to support your low back, or you can drop legs, either way. If your low back is okay with legs dropped, then you can drop them and outer spiral them. Breathe. As you exhale on the next breath, bring your arms straight up, reach through the thumbs, spread shoulder blades off the back, pull ribs down a little. How are we doing? Good. One more time, take the arms back. Keep that reach. Shoulder blades are reaching up, ribs in. Get as long as you can through the arms. Think of shrugging shoulders. Let hips release, let back release. Chin down, neck long into the mat. And then slowly bring arms up. Think of the serratus pulling arms up from underneath. Like your shoulder blades are coming to your bolster. Chin down, neck long. Good. And then bring the feet back in. Press through the feet, tuck low belly in a little bit, pick up the hips. Keep your upper back on the mat. Good. Inhale. Reach through the arms back. Really reach through the thumb side of the hand. Slowly roll down to your bolster. Try to get your low back to touch, and then hips can drop all the way off the front. One more time. Keep the reach in the hands. Push with feet to pick your hips up a little bit, like you're pushing the mat forward, low belly down. Roll it up. No squeezing glutes. Reach the arms away. And then release back down slowly, pulling low belly out of hips. Drop the pubic bone forward and down. Slowly bring your arms back up. How are we doing? Bring elbows to your bolster. Walk a little further forward till hips are on the floor. Hips have to touch the floor. Got your tailbone on the ground? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Low back should be long, that means. Low back is free. Hands behind the head. Interlace fingers behind the head. Good. Elbows in. Pick your head up. Feel your core. Feet a little further forward. Tailbone under more. Get your tailbone more on the mat more. Further. Slide shoulder blades forward. Elbows forward. And then slide shoulder blades back. Try to feel shoulder blades in your orange bolster. Lay back over it. Inhale. Exhale. Pull your head up. Chin in. Then pull ribs in. Once you're all the way up, then reach elbows forward. Good core. Breathe. Don't close chest too hard. Elbows a little open. Drop shoulders back. Lay back over your bolster. Good. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulder blades down. Bring your head up first. Just the head. Chin is dropped back. Neck is still heavy in your hands. Then start pulling those middle abs a little bit to come up. Once you're all the way up, push your feet, pick up hips. Hold. Now release hips first, but keep the core. Keep the core, hips go long. Then drop it back. Good. Once your head's on the mat, feet walk up under you. Push into the feet, lift your hips up. Push your bolster down to your hips. Bolster down to the hips now. Yep, how are we doing?
Good.
Alright, we're going to do happy baby, one twist, and then corpse, just in case I run out of battery here. I did order my plug, so from now on battery won't be an issue.
It's a plug?
Yes, I found a plug for this camera. So I'm going to plug it in as soon as it comes, and then we never run out of battery. Good stuff. Alright, here we go. So your bolster is about even with your tailbone. Tailbone can't hang off the front, but bolster's high enough so your tailbone's right at the edge of it. And then bring one foot at a time into your body. Hands inside the legs, and you can either go traditional hands on tops of ankles holding outer feet. That's a little bit less of a stretch, but I like this hold better. Hands under the feet, cup heels. Turn your feet out, open knees, chin in, breathe. Let all of your weight drop into the spine right behind the sternum. Let your right leg drop forward to the mat first. Touch your foot on the mat as close to your bolster as you can. Reach right arm up. Drop the shoulder blade into the mat, bend elbow a little, and slowly let your arm reach back. Okay, now keep tipped left. So you really tip body left. Keep your left elbow holding the leg back. So keep the elbow bent into the leg. Keep the left foot flexed and then stretch your right foot away. Reach it out low. Good. Keep that upper arm pinning the left leg back. That's your leverage. And bring it back in. Switch. Right hand under the heel. Let go of the left leg. Tip right. And bring your left foot to the floor first. Touch down. Then bring left arm up. Let the shoulder release. The chest too. So shoulder blade drops into the mat. Elbows a little soft. Thumbs facing floor. Pinky side of the hand facing the ceiling. Let that arm drop back loose. And slide your left leg forward. Low to the ground. And keep that right elbow bent. Pinning the right leg back as you reach the left hip forward. Good. Feel that stretch coming out of the psoas. Keep your right toes flexed a little. Keep right elbow bending. Breathe. Slowly drag the arm up and bring the leg back in. Very good. All right, one foot at a time to your mat. Push bolster to the tip of the tailbone. Let your low back just release and hang in that space between bolster and the ground. Rock side to side if you want. Keep the knees open, don't reconnect hips. All right, and then push the bolster down to your calves. Gonna do one twist either way, and then corpse pose again in case we get cut off. So you're almost done. All right, here we go. Keeping calves on your bolster. Well, actually, you're gonna put feet flat for a minute. Tent them either on the bolster or on the floor. Move your hips all the way to the right side of the mat. Keep your sternum in the middle of the mat. Bring your left foot onto the center of the bolster with your groin facing the ceiling. Bring your right foot across, hook your heel on the bolster. Try to use left hand to hold the right outer knee. Left hand on the outer knee. Right arm, bicep by the cheek. Good. And reach through that right arm. Push down into the mat with left elbow a little bit to take your ribs across to the right out of that right hip. So left elbow pushing to the mat a little bit. Breathe. Inner spiral both legs and sink your low belly out of the front of the hips. Bring the right arm back to the right now. Full twist. Work that left shoulder further under you. Keep left elbow pushing into the mat to help bring the ribs back. 2 more breaths here. Good. Bring the right foot back. Hook it on the leg. Untwist. Second side. Move your hips all the way to the left side of the mat. Bring your right leg to the middle of the bolster. Groin facing the ceiling. Foot flexed softly. Reaching through heel. Left foot hooks on the bolster. Pull the knee across to pull the hip across. Right hand holds that knee. Left bicep to your cheek. Get long in your left side. Think of the right shoulder blade digging into the mat, pulling down a little. Right elbow pushing into the mat to bring your ribs left, rounding the spine a touch in this twist. Inner spiral both legs and suck your low belly back. Breathe. Two more. Slowly take that left arm out to the left. Let it hang there. Doesn't have to touch the ground if it can't. Keep inner spiraling the legs. Pull your low belly back so your middle back, low back can release. Breathe. Bring the foot back and untwist. Good. All right, and legs over the bolster. All right, you guys survived.
I know it.
Woo! Good job, day after Thanksgiving. Reach your arms back, take one deep breath. Try to sink your low belly. Don't rock forward on your tailbone. Keep low belly sinking out of your low back. Ribs get to open, but you don't flex low back. Keep low belly sunk. Reach like that. And then exhale, let everything release. Soft but long. Good job. One more breath, inhaling. This time as you exhale, slowly pull the arms up from underneath. Your elbow points leading, pinky side of the hand leading. You're pulling from serratus. Keep the chest really soft. And then let your arms just release, palms facing up. Good. Let the legs roll out to the side so your groin faces the ceiling. Roll the eyes into the back of the head in the middle of the forehead where the third eye lives. Very intently gazing at the back of the third eye. Feel what that does to the muscles in your eyes and your face. Let your jaw release. Don't clench the jaw. It's not helping with that gaze. Inhale like that. Exhale. Keep focusing on the back of the third eye. One more. As you exhale, soften that gaze. Feel it spreading across the brow, across the bridge of the nose, across the base of the tongue and the jawline. Let everything go. Deepening your breath again. Inhale long but soft.
You could have had us here for the rest of the morning.
On your next breath, try to hold the inhale. Reach the arms overhead. Keep the belly sunk. Get longer. And then exhale, let it go. One more like that. Inhale. This time as you exhale, reach your heels, spread fingers, close ribs. Pull your hands back up. One more like that.